Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Honest Pod with me, Ashley McAllister.
And me, Matthew Ali.
And today, for episode 76, we are joined by the one and only Instagram famous farmer, Ben Andrews.
I feel like they deserve a round of applause.
Hi there. Hi.
Yeah, Ben, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a farmer. I live in Herefordshire, a little county in the middle of England that no one's ever heard of. Not Hertfordshire, easy to get too confused. I'm an organic farmer, farm with my dad. We've been here pretty much since the beginning of history. It's sort of like, the least exciting who do you think you are ever? We thought farmers. But live here with my husband John, who is a GP.
Awesome.
Oh, nice. That's always interesting. I guess you're both like political workers in a way. And heavily affected.
Yeah, there's no time for sourdough baking and stuff here. It's just like everything's just like manic.
Refining that banana bread recipe. We're also joined by Ben's dog Percy, who was there but now he's disappeared.
He's shouting somewhere. He's seen someone walk past a window, so he doesn't like them. So he's gonna have a little bit of a shout.
I do the exact same thing whenever somebody walks past my window. I don't like them.
I kind of imagine where you live that there was no people around you actually.
No, we actually live in a village. So my parents still live in the farmhouse on the farm, and my husband and I bought a house about 5 miles away. It's just far enough away that they're not living like too close to my parents, which would be a bit.
Oh, it's all very Emmerdale Farm-esque. So let's start off talking about your week. What have you been up to, Ben, this week?
This week was our first week of picking vegetables. So we grow lettuce and kale and cabbage and cauliflowers. And this week was first week we started picking lettuce. Most of that goes down to a big box delivery scheme called Able and Cole, and they deliver boxes of vegetables around the country. That's always quite exciting because you have months and months of just building up to it, and where we had it was raining for 6 months of the year and it was miserable as hell, and then suddenly the weather's great and all the lettuce are growing and we start picking them, and it's pretty full on now. Going to be pretty full on until September.
Now, exciting is definitely not the word I would use for going out and picking lettuce. So I guess you could tell. Okay.
Would you say this is like the lambing season for your kind?
It's so everyone has their season. So you've got like lambing season, and then there's like the arable harvest where you see all the combine harvesters and they're going through the fields, getting the grain off, and then for us it's the veg season starts. So now we've just started picking the lettuce. We'll pick that through until maybe the beginning of October, and then the kale.
Yeah.
We'll start picking the kale in July probably, and then that'll keep going through till Christmas. Maybe a little bit of a break over Christmas, and then start picking again. Maybe get another pick off it, and then finish about March. It all
You
happens
pick
again.
from May until October.
Yeah.
Oh my days! So I'm from London, right?
City boys. Honestly, these city boys don't
I'm
know.
a straight city boy, so I'm gonna have to ask a lot of these questions. But are you picking these by hand? Are you like literally just trawling the ground and then just picking up the lettuce that you think looks nice?
Yeah.
Outrageous.
All cut by hand. So we have we're not a massive farm, and there's how many of us are picking at the moment. There's 6 or 7 of us picking during the day, and we can we do about, I can pick about 250 in an hour sort of thing. So it's
Wow.
for about do, doing that for about 7 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Exciting.
Yeah,
Exciting.
yeah.
You can see why it's so exciting.
Sounds.
It's all right. It's all
I can
right.
see it.
You got the radio on. You got the radio on. It's like whack up radio, bit of Radio 6 music, and yeah, there's a good bunch of people I work with, so we have a bit of a laugh. So yeah, it's not too bad, and it's outside.
Plus, you listen to our podcast while you're farming, don't you?
Yeah, when I'm being antisocial, I got my headphones in. It's been quite interesting because I was like I got a little bit behind, so I caught up with about 3 or 4 weeks, all in the space of like a few hours, and it's so interesting listening to your opinion of the whole COVID situation developing over sort of like your rather laissez-faire sort of attitude of it's fine. I'm gonna go to the pub.
Yeah, oh, that was
Oh,
Ash,
and
wasn't
then
it?
like
Yeah.
that was me. Yeah,
Oh my god.
and it would have usually been the other way about. I would have been like absolutely not going to the pub, and you'd be more relaxed, Matt.
It's so
We
bizarre,
definitely
like
did a flip there.
why I feel like um I don't know, a bit more seriousness, I guess, in the situation. So, like this weekend, I've taken the approach, I guess, to staying in and only going out if I need to. I'm not working at the moment, and then and my friends would ask me to do stuff, and I've said no, I don't want to do that because we're not supposed to. But then obviously last week we were told that we can go and meet people outside from other households within a certain distance. So I decided to do it this weekend. It's actually been really nice. So I went and saw my mum. I mean, I guess it wasn't within the rules because my mum then decided to invite my brother from another house to. So they all sat in the kitchen while I sat in the garden, and they were like, "Do you want to come in?" I was like, "Absolutely not. I'm not coming near you, bitch." And it's been really, really good. It's been really nice to spend time with my mum and my family. It made, like quite emotional stuff, but even within that, I'm still trying my best to stay within what the guidelines are saying, I guess. What's your approach, Ben?
Well, it's weird out here because things haven't changed that much. You see down in London, and it's gone from being so incredibly this hustle bustle, just like tube trains absolutely rammed. Sort of like you can imagine Oxford Street, Regent Street, at the weekend being absolutely heaving, and now being complete ghost town. But out here, we're so much more sparsely populated than city centres are anyway, and my working week, I see the same people. The only way it's really changed is that we have to stand a bit further apart, and we've got a lot more alcohol hand rub and face masks and stuff. But the only thing that's really changed is not being able to hang out with friends and stuff. So and that's the thing that I find the hardest. Really, it's just really big struggle. You speak to them on the phone, and you might see them pass in the car, and you sort of like wave at them, and yeah, just had enough of it now. But yeah,
Yeah, it is. It is tough. I think again because I've escaped London and came back to the country, and I'm so glad I did because I don't think I could have handled being in London during all this. I think I would have gone insane. And it is nice because we've got so much more about here. Like we've got a beach not that far away. Like I pretty much live in the middle of a forest, and then like we've got a mountain with a lake that we can walk around. Well, people walk around. I don't walk around it, but yeah, it is. It is really really nice. What I do, which similar to you, I think I was getting my big hang up was not being able to see friends. Like Mickey, who was on the podcast last week, is one of my best mates, and any other time I'd probably see him probably about 2 times a day for coffee. Like just if I had a lunch break at work, we'd always meet up and go for coffee. Or and his wife Tilly as well. We're all quite good friends. They're not as good as friends as I am with Mickey and Tilly. They seem to argue a lot more than I would with them, but um, yeah, but they would, and that was it. And I got to the point, and my boss was like, "You know what she did? She said I went round, sat at my friend's like 2 meters away, and we had coffee just in their front garden. And so I've started doing that with Mickey and Tilly. I've gone out to theirs and have coffee in their garden with them. I've literally just got back from theirs about half an hour ago, so um, it's nice. And I think to me it was the human connection I needed to do that, and I do think because, like you say, in the country we're so like we're so spread out that it's a lot like it's a lot less risk. Like 100%, if I lived in London, I wouldn't have gone to see Matt, for example.
You have to dodge. Like yesterday, I was out all day Friday and all day Saturday, pretty much cycling, and I met with Jordan and Adam, two of our friends, and they were getting so damn close, and I was like, "You need to back up, bitch. Go away from me," as we we're walking. But we went through this like path, and you have to dodge. The number of people that were out was insane. It was very much a normal day. It felt like in this path and in the park, so you have to be like really really cautious. And different people, different strokes, and all that sort of stuff. So some people just do, they don't mind. They're more than happy to just be up on your space and stuff. Whereas some people are literally like huffing and puffing because people are getting so close and getting really agitated. So it is really difficult being outside. And next week we're going to have like a little heat wave. I think it's 27 degrees on Wednesday. Well, that would have passed, so it was 27 degrees. So I want to go to the park, but there's going to be a lot of people there.
What? It's going to be 27 degrees this Wednesday?
In London.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think we just got told that it's going to be rain all week here. So.
Standard. That is horrible. Yeah.
This is it. What about you, Matt? How was your week?
My week's been pretty good. I think I said before I started this script writing course online, so I'm a bit behind. We had to start writing the script this week, so I need to do that this weekend and like sort of next week and stuff. But it's starting to like develop and like I can get more ideas. So soon we'll be famous TV stars, and that'd be great.
Yeah.
I saw people for the first time, so I met up with Ed on Friday. Ed is my boyfriend, and we were completely and utterly like compliant with the guidelines. So no touching, no kiss or anything like that. Just separate, just being each other's company. It does make a big difference. It really like I thought it was going to be really hard. I thought I'm quite an emotional person sometimes, quite sensitive, and I thought I was going to like leave feeling really, really like downtrodden because we weren't able to have any sort of physical contact, but it was like the complete opposite. Like it was just I found it really easy. We were able to spend the whole day together, and it was just really really nice. And then I went and saw my mum, which was amazing, and she was taking the piss at me for not giving her a hug and sitting in the garden. But apart from that, it was really good. There were a lot of people in my mum's house. My goodness, there were so many people coming in and out the front door, and I'm in the back, and I was like, "Fuck me." And they're like, "It's fine, like it's okay." All right. Okay. I'm not coming near you, bitches. Yeah.
It is. Have you found, Ben? Is your partner being a doctor? What's the sort of feelings there? Do you feel yourself high risk, or is it literally because a lot of the GPs in our area are like dead, like quiet. They're like we have no work to do.
Yeah, well, he's like he said that because he's got two jobs. So he's a partner at a GP practice, and on that side of things, he's been doing. They shut the surgeries to people coming in, and did most of the consultations on like Zoom, Skype calls or over the phone. To talk to them, and then if people needed, say, an examination or a blood test taken, there'd be special hubs that they can bring people into, and they literally just come in, have the blood taken, go straight back out, no talking, nothing, fully kitted out.
Okay.
But he's also a clinical director in the county, which means that they're the ones who basically have to figure out how the NHS in that county deals with it, because there was no sort of hand down stuff from the top from the NHS. They were like, what do we do? And so there's just like a load of people sat around a virtual table, just constant Zoom meetings every night, just like, what do we do now? Oh, it's changed. What do we do now? Oh, so yeah, it's been pretty full on, but I think things that they're sort of starting to figure out how to work most efficiently now. And he said it's actually been incredible that how much they've actually been able to achieve in such a short space of time in terms of collaboration with all the different practices around the county. So that's a positive.
Oh, cool. That's good. Yeah. As the only one here in this chat that's single, I am not missing out on anything. I think. I've just got stronger wrists. I think since COVID started, and that's about it.
How's your virtual cowboy?
Ah!
He's I the thing is, it breaks my heart because I seen a cheater. I seen a spoiler because it follows a story. And I seen a spoiler that he dies, and I know it's coming.
Oh, no.
And he started he started doing this thing. I started playing the game, so I'm sort of not playing to progress the story forward, and I just sort of like have him out doing stuff. But he sort of engaged with someone the other day, and he started coughing. Essentially, he's got tuberculosis, and I know he's going to die. But he started coughing the other day, and I'm like, breaks my heart.
It's like Moulin Rouge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to happen, and I know he needs to fulfill his destiny and like stop all the crime and do all the robberies and stuff. But I just don't want him to. I want him to go out and just hunt and live his life. But it's coming, unfortunately. So I'm going to finish that off soon, I guess.
It is horrible when you
And
finish
then
things that you
recover.
really get invested. You know, like a good book or something like that, or like today,
Yeah.
like because I was hungover after like this virtual stag that was on yesterday. I finished the last season of Schitt's Creek.
Oh, I was in tears. I finished it yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you both you watch,
you watch
it? As well?
it?
Yeah, I love it, and I'm just doing one episode a day. I'm not binging. I'm
Oh.
just doing one
Woo!
episode a day.
The
Yeah,
first one, the first sitting on Thursday, I watched 7 episodes.
I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end.
I was
Yeah.
bawling today.
So
I mean, actual
Yeah.
crying and like moaning. I was like, just sitting there by myself with tears coming down my face. It was hard. It was so romantic. It was so good.
Yeah. No spoilers. But I was the same. I binged the last season that obviously came on live. I never did, but I finished it yesterday. I'm just not for any reason at all. Just I think it's because it's the last season. I'm like anytime Moira says "baby," I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to hear it.
Oh,
So good.
Um,
She's so funny.
yeah.
so
Oh my
good.
god. Because I imagine the kind of person I am, I'm very much like David. You know, I need to be looked after, and I need like a very stable, sort of strong man to just be like, you know, when you see. I guess you wouldn't have seen the second to last episode, but yeah, when like Patrick's trying to fix things, he's just like, listen, you do this, you take care of yourself, and I'm gonna sort out everything. And I'm like, that is what I need.
This is why you took it so personally when I said David was a bit annoying.
100%. Some of us just have very specific requirements, and they just need to be met. And we need people that understand those requirements. That's it. Okay. Just follow what you know is right, and just look after us, and we will fill you with joy.
That being said, Patrick is just a dreamboat. I think he is just
So fit.
ticks
Oh my god.
ticks every box.
Yep. 100%.
Oh, I'm excited about you watching the last season.
I've watched one episode. Yeah,
Just
I've only
one?
watched one
I
episode
know.
so far. So
You've got it all to come. It's so good.
yeah.
So jealous. Apart from that, my week, the only other thing apart from work I did was we all played Secret Hitler online on Friday night. Have you ever heard of the game Secret Hitler?
Keeps it light. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's it's actually quite good though. We've played it a couple of times at your house, Matt. But somebody discovered the online version and it does quite well. We had Zoom loaded at the same time, but it was good. It's a game where you have to hunt out the fascists from all the liberals. It's a really complicated game to explain, so I won't. But it's a lot of fun.
To be fair, you'd struggle with an easy game to explain as well, so everybody wins
Yeah,
in this
I-
situation if you just don't.
Yeah, I'll not even try to comprehend anything. Try to talk about it. Cool. Well, I wanted to just go on and introduce the topic then, or Matt, you should.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking about it, and I'm one of the sort of workers that are furloughed, and I saw an article online before, and there's not been much of it since, I think, but it was talking about using furloughed workers to help the farming industry, and that there are, at the moment, I believe there should be a lot of vacancies open in the farming world, because the majority of the workforce is from overseas, and now with like travel restrictions, it's just not possible. And yeah, I just wanted to understand a bit better, Ben, about how tell us a little bit about the workforce that would be in farming. Maybe if you know a bit about it, maybe your own. But what are your thoughts on the ideas that maybe furloughed workers would help with picking and things like that?
Yeah, sure. So you've got all your different types of farming, and the so particularly applies to seasonal fruit and vegetable workers. So, like us, anyone that's producing salad crops or other vegetables, strawberries, things like that. Um, we're quite a small operation compared to a lot of them. Uh, there's a big strawberry farm next door to us, and they have hundreds, if not thousands, of people who come to pick strawberries. It's one of the biggest soft fruit farms in Europe. They are massive. They've got their own buses where they move people around between the different farms and take them into the local town to go shopping, things like that. So they're the ones that are really going to get affected um, uh, by this lockdown, and it's it is a big deal. If the whole Brexit shit show wasn't going to be bad enough, then this came along and sort of made it a lot worse. We've um, we have one guy who comes over every year from the Czech Republic, and he's currently stuck out there trying to get over. And whereas the majority, like the rest of our people who work for us, they're local. So we're lucky that we haven't got to rely on people coming from overseas. But this guy, he's been coming every year for 10 years, um, and it's quite a skilled job because he drives a tractor. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it, for years, and he is absolutely essential. And at the moment, we are getting shafted because I don't have him, and his flight keeps getting put back. Um, but I think that there's a someone messaged me on Instagram about it this week. It's called the Land Army, where they're basically putting this app together to get people to apply to saying they want a job on a farm. It's this whole. The only problem is uh, it's sort of centralizing it, or finding a way to get those people into these farms, because for example, a lot of these people will um, be coming from overseas. They'll be going to these farms. They'll be on farm accommodation. They'll be living there, working there. So if you're, say, someone who lives in the city and wants to go, and it's not that convenient for you to, you're probably not going to be able to just get on a bus, go 20 minutes down the road and go do a day's work and go back again. Quite often, these farms are going to be in places that are quite far removed from where the majority of those furloughed workers are going to be. So if people are happy to go and, say, relocate to those farms for the season, or by the week, and then go home at weekends, then that'll work out. But it's sort of enabling, trying to get those people who want the jobs to the place where the jobs are. It's getting those two to work. I mean, if you look back to my great grandfather used to grow hops. Um, Herefordshire used to be a big hop growing county, and then during the summer, they had busloads of people from Birmingham would come, and they'd spend the summer on the farm because that was their idea of a summer holiday. And they'd come, they'd bring the whole family. We've got like photos of it, there'd be like babies in pushchairs in the hop fields. And that would be their idea of a summer holiday, because they'd be getting out of the cities, be in the black country where it's just like really like heavy smog, and just being able to come out to the country would be amazing. So it would be lovely to get that sort of because it can be like really good fun. I mean, like we try to make it quite enjoyable, but I know some of the farmers, the ones who probably make a bit more money than we do, probably work people a little bit harder. But yeah, so that's it. I think that the struggle is, it's such a great idea. It's getting it to work and getting the people who want the jobs to the places where the jobs are.
And would you? I guess to me, it's like, do people volunteer their time to? For if let's take Matt for example. If Matt's furloughed, he's getting 80% of his pay. Would he do this for free, or would he still get paid?
No, I think the idea is you'd still get paid, but it would all go on. It would all go on like PAYE, and so the you'd still end up paying the relevant amount of tax or whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect farmers to get the labour for free. That'd be a bit bloody cheeky, wouldn't it?
Well, I just read something just before this about there are a lot of people, and it's not related to farming, but a lot of people are not working at the moment, and they're offering their services for free for like certain companies just to fill up their own time, really, and
Yeah.
get skilled. And a lot of freelancers are finding that wrong because it's taking away paid work for people that need to have the money, and it's their livelihood, because there are some people that have fallen out of being able to claim certain benefits and or get pay from furlough if you're self-employed and stuff like that. So, it definitely should be like paid work, but from what I understand, it's difficult because of that. So if I were to apply to be a fruit picker or a vegetable picker, I would have to leave where I am in London to go and stay somewhere in the countryside. I would, and work the hours there, and that just, I don't know if that would be possible for me to do that, really.
Yeah.
As much as I
It-
really want to pick lettuce, do you
yeah.
know?
I mean, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Yeah, no, I will say this. I'm actually joking. It does sound like a lot of fun to me, because I think being outside, I love just being able to sing, and I feel I'm quite a productive person when it comes to working. Especially physical sort of labor type work. The only problem I'd have is the mud. That would get me I need to wash my hands, and I moisturize quite a
Just
lot.
put some on your skin, Matt.
Yeah, look, mud mask.
It's an instant mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on and let it dry out
Yeah.
whilst you pick the
You
apples.
can wear gloves. You can wear gloves.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
I can imagine.
it's interesting what you're saying about the volunteer thing and taking work away from people, because I get a lot of messages on Instagram from people saying, "Do you take volunteers? I'd love to come and work on the farm, just for the experience." And that's a similar thing with me, is that the people who come and work on the farm, they're local people who need a job, want to earn money, and by having people who can afford to just come and work for fun on the farm, it takes away it'd be cheaper for me, but it takes away the opportunity for someone to earn the money that they need to live on. So yeah, and also, if people come just to volunteer, then if they decide they don't like it and just go, I'm just going to go, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I'm stuck
Yeah.
now.
I was about to say, it's more reliable for you to have somebody who you know locally to come and put in the graft because they know they need it to get the money, rather than somebody who says, "Oh, do you know, this week I'm going to go do some farming,"
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden 2 days in they're like, "Oh, do you know, actually my back's sore from picking lettuce. I'm going to enjoy the last of the week down by the beach. Bye."
Well, I was going to volunteer
It's just-
before all of this had happened for a charity that my brother used to work with, and I had to be put on a waiting list because so many people want to volunteer. I had to wait 8 months. The problem is, it's not many people want to volunteer and give their time. It's retention that's a problem, and I guess it's like employees just in general for certain types of work, like the hospitality where I work. Retention is really, really difficult because people will just, it sounds like a great idea, but when you need to integrate these things into your lives, it's a little bit more challenging, and I guess people are less likely to stay. Yeah. What will happen with the guy from the Czech Republic then? Because are you saying that he's trying to come and work for you?
Yeah. He keeps booking a flight, and then the flights keep getting cancelled. So I think he's got a flight booked for the 31st of May to come over. But we'll see if that comes off. But yeah, he's a great guy. He had a bit of a wobble a few years ago and had a bit of a bit of a breakdown, but he's improving a bit now, and he's because he struggles to find work out there. He's a really, really bright guy, but just struggles to find decent, solid, continuous work. So he comes over here, usually comes over in March and works until like end of September, beginning of October, and then goes home, and he's usually earned enough money then to pretty much see him through till the following March. So yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
What will you do if he doesn't come?
just work harder. So yeah,
Matt, you could go and join and start picking
No,
lettuce.
I could. I just don't know where Herefordshire
yeah, you're not the only.
is. Yeah, I don't know. How do you?
You
Where
silly
is it? Is it
boys.
in the middle of the country?
it's it's like, do you even know where Birmingham is?
I do. I've been to Birmingham. I was supposed to go to a concert there like the other week, but it was cancelled, obviously.
Yeah, if you kind of go from Birmingham and go towards Wales, it's sort of like it's on the border of Wales.
Oh no, we have a friend who's from there. Yeah. You know Ollie, John and Ollie, Ash.
Yeah,
That's where he's from.
yeah.
Yeah. Then no, I've never been there. But I'd like. I think I'd be one of those people. I like the idea of farming. I'd get there and I'd be like, fuck me, it's hot outside. And then I'd be like, okay. What time do you have to wake up? Tell me, what time do you have to get up in the morning?
Ugh.
Well, I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, but that's just to do CrossFit, and then I start work at 7:30.
What time do you go to bed?
Anytime between 9 and 11.
I was hoping. I thought you were going to say 8 p.m. because.
Sometimes, sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
is
I feel
it
like
too
you're
early to
stretching
go to
the
bed yet?
No. To be fair, I mean, actually, you know, like I've worked a lot of early hours. Like when I used to work in restaurants, like I'd have to wake up at 4:30 or 5 to get to work for 6 a.m. So it's not. I like early starts. I'm really very much an early person as well. Like I like finishing the day at a good time, and then you've got the whole evening free and getting up. And I feel most productive in the morning anyway. Like I'd rather just get up and go to work straight away for sure. How long are your days at the moment then?
Usually finish, so start 7:30 and then finish about 6:30.
Oh my
So,
god, that's so long. No, no.
it's okay because it's like when the weather's like this and it's, the sun's out, it's warm, and you're outside the whole time. Even though it's 6:30, like I keep thinking it's still 4 o'clock, and there's still plenty of. And like when I get home, what am I going to do? Just watch telly, just eat. But I go, we'll eat, and I go and sit in the garden, watch the birds, just have a cider, and then yeah, that's about it.
Oh, so cute.
I always
Yeah,
think about
wholesome.
leaving the city, and then I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with my day when I'm out in the country? It's like it's so different the life. It's so bizarre to me. It's like
It's I don't know because I was because I lived in London for like 18 months, and that's where I met John, or Stevie. Just to clarify things, I call him Stevie. His name's John. He because his surname's Stevenson. So, yeah. And when I think about it, what we did when we actually lived in London, I was like, well, we hung out with the same people all the time and went to the same bars, and we pretty much did the same thing. And like now, out in the country, I hang out with the same people, and we go to the same restaurants or the same pubs, or whatever, or just like. But now, like friends have like massive house parties in the middle of nowhere, like in a garden, and you just have like a big rave, and no one else can hear you, and you can go till like 6 in the morning, and no one gives a damn. So, yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. There's so much to do out here.
I think it's different if you're married, though. I do think if you're
Yeah,
single or even just dating, or there's no way as a single person I would say go live in the country.
yeah,
I love being in the country, but as a single person, it's like you need to be in the city to mingle and meet people. Not to say it's impossible to meet people. It's just I think it's a lot harder.
it's the same
yeah.
people, isn't
Well,
it?
there's
Well, that's
just a
the
lot.
thing. It's the same
Yeah.
people you see. Like, probably. I mean, would you say more as a gay man as well, though? Because I think the pool is slightly more limited, I guess, than if you were, I don't know, straight. Um,
Yeah.
Potentially, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, back when, so before Stevie and I met, we there was no gaydar. Well, it was only gaydar. There was no like grind or anything like that. So it's just the old dial-up modem and like
And a lot of visits to the park.
waiting for 5 minutes. It's like, I never did that. Did everyone do that? I never did
Do
that.
what? What did you say?
Visits to
I
the
said,
park.
yeah. I mean, I never did it.
No.
No.
I've never done it.
I would do it though.
We
I
just
think I
had-
would do it for
we
sure.
just- I don't know. Never know who you're gonna meet, do you?
The killer.
I'm not
So
sure. I
that's
like
part
that.
of it, I guess, isn't
I'm not
it?
sure I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the whole the gaydar thing, and you'd chat for ages, and then you'd meet up, and you go like, yeah, that's an anticlimax. And then but yeah, found Stevie. I was in London for a bit, and I was like, right, you're the one. That's it. Time to check out, and yeah, dragged him back up to Herefordshire with me.
Where did you
How
meet
did you
him?
meet?
Oh, yes.
We were both members of the same rowing club. So we used to row down on Thames, and yeah, met. We were in a boat together. Just got chatting. Turned out his best friend from medical school was getting married to my ex-girlfriend from school.
Oh.
Random.
And you grew up in Herefordshire, did you?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So we got chatting and got together, and then that was like nearly 14 years ago now.
You sold him on the lettuce talk. You bought into it.
Yeah. He was desperate. He's desperate to get out. He'd been in London for like 10 years or something. So he was.
Oh, had he? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because he'd done a degree first and then his medical degree, and he just wanted a garden. He loves his garden. He's out in the garden now. Actually, that's all he does.
I have to say, his setup for the swimming thing. The thing was amazing. I was in awe.
He is devastated that. So he's a big swimmer, and he likes swimming in the pool in Hereford has been shut since it flooded. So ironic, isn't it? Yeah. Swimming pool got flooded.
Should be like, it should be better now. The pool is now bigger.
So that shut in February, and then it of course because of the corona it's been shut down. But normally beginning of May is the open water season starts. So he'd be swimming in the local lake. So he's been training for these big open water swims, and that's been shut as well. So he's just been like, I need to swim. He's a little bit like a dolphin, you sort of like put him on dry land, and he's just like, but you put him in the water, and he's like a fish. So he's got this big paddling pool, and he's basically got a strap, and then ties the strap around the frame of the paddling pool to a belt around his waist, and then so he can swim. I mean, it's a big paddling pool. It's not like a tiny kids paddling pool.
It's like, it turns out that Stevie's actually 3'9". That'd be good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I think it's
So
something
ingenious. Just like, yeah, it was brilliant.
You'd be
I
ashamed of
messaged
my
you. I
garden.
seen it on your Instagram. I messaged.
What's it? The gardens here are very different. So mine actually has no green in it. It's all concrete. My little garden. It's like a little cell
Is
block.
that a garden? Is that actually a garden?
It's a garden. I mean, it's the space at the back of our house. But it's so bad that I had to sunbathe in the front door at the driveway because there's nowhere to lounge in the garden. So yeah, I had to sit outside our front door, just where we park the cars because it's all just steel. So it's nice going. Although we were cycling the other day and we're going along in the canal, and then the guy was like, "Oh, I was just swimming in the canal the other day," and I was like, "That is fucking disgusting." I don't know if you want to do that in the middle of London.
Don't
Yeah.
fancy that.
Yeah.
You're going to catch some other things that not at all. He's like, oh, you can see the bottom. And I was like, you don't want to see the bottom of a canal in London. No way.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of dead bodies. No way.
But we did buy hard lemonade from him. He was selling lemonades from his boat. So we got a lemonade with gin in it, and that was delicious.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Mm.
Fancy one of those.
It's really good. So now you've got to support your local businesses.
Yeah, the swimming just blew me away. The just the setup, so ingenious.
I think
Have
he
you seen-
copied it off someone else. He didn't make it up himself.
Oh, don't say that. Don't burst the bubble.
Oh, he's clever. He's not that clever.
And what about your training, Ben? How have you found this lockdown in your CrossFit?
Um, it's been. I prefer actually going into the gym and doing stuff. God knows how, like, what I'm going to be like on heavy stuff afterwards. But I've become very good friends with my 22.5 kilo dumbbell. I still haven't mastered double unders, which I should have done by now. I still haven't practiced my pull-ups, which I should
What's a
have done.
double under?
But it's where you skip, but you do every time you jump, you swing the rope round twice.
You can't do that.
No, I can do like single skips, but I can't like go jump and go twice.
Oh, that's crazy.
Do it, Ash.
Matt,
Go on, get up and do
You,
it.
Matt, you can't do a double under, can you?
100% I can. Although I'm really good
Oh,
at skipping.
you
I should have known
balls.
I was gay when I was in primary school. Because, like, back in those days, like, the boys play, like, football and stuff, and the girls were using, like, skipping ropes, and I was so good with the skipping rope. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
100%.
fair enough.
Can you actually do a double under?
You're talking about just skipping with a rope and it going under your feet twice, right? Do you have to do anything in particular
Yeah.
different? Like, you just jump higher and first.
Well, I mean, it's quite a skill. It's a
Oh,
lot
mate,
harder than.
when you say it like that, it sounds really easy.
Well, I feel like I'm missing
Yeah.
something. Like, I will get tired. Like, obviously, I'm a big heifer lump, so like, I'll do a few and then I'll get tired. But like, I could do a couple, yeah.
I think the most I've got in a row is 50. 50 in a row is tough.
50.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Hold
my
on,
heart was
Ashley
red.
can do it, but you can't do it, Ben.
Yeah, I can't like get my feet and my hands are just like connected. So if I jump faster, my hands move faster, and yeah, so I just can't seem to. I can skip faster, I just can't.
I did say to you, didn't I? I'd send you a video. But essentially, the way I got into it was, I don't know. Double unders is the only CrossFit move which I got very quickly. There's a lot of stuff in the bar I can't do. A lot of other stuff I just snatch. I still struggle with. Double unders. I remember the day I got them. I was able to do some double single, and then it was just a case of them breaking out of the habit of going double single to go double 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 double. And again, it's I think the first time I got like 5 in a row or 6 in a row, my heart was just like, and then you just build it up. But
Yeah.
one of the tricks that was taught to me is jump, and then as you jump, tap your legs twice with your just as you jump with your arms, go with your just tap your legs. And then another trick was jump, but not with the rope in your hand, but don't skip. But then just as if you were skipping, spin it twice. So it gets you in the habit of breaking that one jump per one twist. But you don't then whip your legs off the back of the skipping rope, which hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also it also depends on what skipping rope. Do you have like a proper skipping rope, or what type of skipping rope do you have?
One of those ones that's essentially just like a cheese wire with 2 plastic handles. So like you just go around and it just hits you and it feels like you've just been lashed.
I would suggest getting. I was actually looking the other night actually because my skipping rope is back in London, and it's like 60 quid for like a CrossFit skipping rope.
Oh,
and
fuck off.
I'm about
They
to buy
just did
another
that to put the name on. There is absolutely no reason why a skipping rope should cost that much. No way.
one.
Don't
No,
mine cost
it's
£5.
because
Go
this is
eBay.
maybe the problem. You see,
That's the only reason I can't do double unders. It's got a cheap.
I'm sure it is.
Your one's like flat. It's actually a band. Just gets all that drag.
But the heavier the rope, the easier it is to do. So I was going to suggest, because I've got one of the ones with the handles and you can change the rope. So you pay like 35 quid for the handle,
Madness.
and then you can progress
What?
through the hook.
Outrageous.
Yeah, do you know what? And it is, and the heavier the rope, because you can feel it go round more.
This
It
is why
makes it
CrossFit
harder.
is a cult. I will say this. CrossFit is a cult. And you lot are all falling for this shit. Okay? They just charged you that much money for a skipping rope. Out now. I'm not having it.
No,
Yeah,
it's a
I
brilliant
watch
skipping
your
rope,
minds.
and
They
And
get
also-
me. I'm not getting sucked in by that nonsense.
well, this is why you'll never do double unders.
That's a price I can pay.
Um, well, it's not. It's 50 quid. That's the price to pay to do double unders. It also does have to do with the length of the rope, obviously, because you're jumping a lot higher. It has to. So if you, for example, if you were to just buy a standard skipping rope, which isn't long, it's because we have a skipping rope in the garden, which isn't like a proper skipping rope, like I'd say a proper CrossFit skipping rope. Um, I find it impossible to do double unders.
Okay, new skipping rope. But I'm missing the social side of it. I do. I have my Zoom sesh with my straight CrossFit boyfriend every morning.
Sounds fit.
And yeah. Charlie is great. Love Charlie. He's a really good mate, and yeah, we're competitive and we do it every morning, and then 3 days a week there's like the CrossFit gym do a group session, and so that's quite nice to see some of the other guys. But yeah, it's doing it sort of with someone else, like on a FaceTime call or something, just pushes you on. Otherwise, I'll just get halfway through your WOD and just go, hey, sod it. I'm prepped.
That's what Ashley does. I mean, you may have not listened to the last episode, but he had the absolute audacity, and I'll bring it up every single week, actually, to post a full workout and only did like 44% of this workout. Not a word to anyone. Not a single word.
I said to Mickey that I didn't finish it. It was because all I've got here. Mickey's left me in an assault bike, so that's the only machine I have. I hate them. And if that wasn't uninspiring enough to have to go out and do that to myself, Mickey like programs the hardest workouts possible. And so the other day I can't remember what it was. It was something like, I want to say it was calories and then dumbbell thrusters, I think it was. And I was just like, no, no. I think you had to do, there was 4 sets of 10 rounds, so 40 minutes. And inside that 10 minutes, you had to do 3 rounds of 12 calories on the bike and 10 dumbbell thrusters. Absolutely not.
How
My
heavy
body
were
was
the
like,
dumbbells? How heavy were the dumbbells?
Well,
okay,
4
you can
kilos.
sit. You can sit down if you're 22 and a half. So I only have 17 and a half here.
Oh, okay. That's still plenty.
I don't think I could do it with 22 and a half anyway.
There's still plenty.
Yeah.
22 and a half. It's just like when that's all you've got, you soon sort of get used to it. Like grind to overhead now. It's like, yeah, it's easy. It's easy. Love it.
Are you doing it every single day?
Yeah, 5 days a week. 5 days a week.
I got you into CrossFit, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did. I think you said, yeah, you should do it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a go. Yeah, so found the local gym.
You can tell your CrossFit boyfriend that he's welcome.
Okay, yeah, you can buy a hat now for the wedding.
Oh, good.
Because I think I met his brother at an event outside London once. Because he owns a gym with his brother, doesn't he? Yeah.
Oh, that's different. That's my different CrossFit boyfriend. So that.
There's two.
I've got two CrossFit boyfriends called Charlie, which is confusing.
Oh my! It's the scandal between all this. This is.
So the gays, they're right. So
there's Posh Charlie. There's Posh Charlie, and then there's Gym Charlie. So there's the guy who owns it, is Gym Charlie, and then there's Posh Charlie.
Oh,
your mind's blown now, isn't it?
At all.
They've got the same name as well. That's crazy.
I know, it's really confusing. It helps any confusion if I accidentally message one when I'm supposed to be messaging the other. So.
Wow. I mean, they sound amazing. You should definitely post more pictures of them.
I'll ask. Well, I can't now, can I? Because I've not seen them.
I 100% think you should invite them round for drinks in the garden.
Social distancing. We might do a social distanced WOD in the garden. Garden's big enough.
With gin and tonics.
Yeah.
Have you started seeing people and having like social distance meetups?
So one of my best friends from school, he has some space in one of our sheds at the farm to keep stuff in. He's got a company who installs solar panels on industrial buildings and stuff. So he occasionally pops in to like get materials and then go off and do a job, and like I see him and just get like, I mean, we've been best friends since we were like 13. So he comes in, he's like, just we see each other from across the yard and we just have a bit of a chat, and I was like, oh, hug you. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah, just really missing people. Just yeah, really struggling with it. But it's yeah, I've got dogs.
because we've talked before about doing the podcast. Probably about a year ago, I think we first had the idea of bringing you on, and then I was saying, I think just before this season started, how this would be way back, maybe just towards the end of last year when I was doing planning and stuff. And you said, yeah, 100%, but you didn't want to do it recorded like this. You wanted to come and do it in person. Um,
Yeah,
and you also then had, obviously, anybody else we've recorded in the past, except for Jordan. Jordan, we did it in person because he lived in London, but everyone else since then, it's always been recording just on this phone. And then you came in today or yesterday with the whole, do you know what, I want to be videoed. And we're like, right, okay, we'll make this work for Farmer Ben
because
and his
it just
diva needs.
I don't know. I always find it so much easier when I'm talking to someone face to face, or if I can see who I'm talking to. Otherwise, I start.
100%.
Yeah.
I find it easier when we're talking face to face and without shirts on. Just to remember. That was my requirement. I said I will only do it on video if none of us are wearing clothes.
I can only see your head anyway, so it doesn't make any
You don't
difference.
have to just see my head. You can see other parts.
I was turning into one of those video chats, is it?
I definitely moisturised just in case.
Outrageous. Matt, he has like 4 boyfriends. He'll come and beat you up.
Yeah, all my straight boyfriends.
Apparently,
Get
I know,
very
loads.
jealous.
Don't worry, I run away doing my double unders and my skipper rope.
This is how they do things in the country. They've got 4 boyfriends and a husband.
Yeah, like the French. That's what they do.
Oh, so exotic. There was another article which I thought I'd bring up. I don't know if anybody has seen this, and I was just trying to find it, and now I can't find it. But it was something about how bees. It's going to sound weird, but if bees sting your penis, it will permanently enlarge your penis. Have you heard about this?
No.
I think they're trying to trick people to do this.
Yeah. Stick it in a beehive. Find out.
Who's
Go
out
on.
there putting
Dare
like
you.
sugar? I mean, I will try it. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find the article. Bee sting penis. Oh, I must have searched it for it before. Yes,
Was it in the Sun?
my top hit.
The Sun newspaper.
No, this is in what is this? Snoops. I'm sure this is the first one that came up. Will a bee sting cause permanent penis enlargement?
People have got so much time on their hands.
This is mad. It was in the Mirror. It was in
Oh,
the,
it's gonna be right. It's gonna be right then.
Yeah.
it's, National Geographic have something, but they say the worst place to get stung by the bee is the nostril, the lip, and the penis.
Funny that.
I wonder how often that happens that people get stung in their penis.
I mean, I'm permanently out there rubbing jam around my balls just in case.
I don't know. You might be in the country. You need a wee. You need do it in a hedge or something, and upset a bee that's on a flower, and it just.
Do you know what? I remember that episode of Grey's Anatomy where the man was out somewhere in the jungle and he peed, and this parasite came up the pee into his, and he got an infection in his insides. Do you remember that one, Matt?
In the water, there's like an actual thing, isn't it? Though? That's when you're in like the water. It doesn't like travel up like electricity through the wee. You have to be like submerged.
Or was it? I thought he travelled up the pee like.
No, you have to be submerged in the water.
He swam against the.
That would be a pretty strong. That'd be a pretty strong swimmer, wouldn't it?
Well, he 100% has the same setup as your husband has. Just practicing all the time. That's what it takes.
Practice.
Was it the Netherlands or something? They said that they suggest that single people get like a sex buddy.
Oh yeah. Go get yourself a little shag buddy.
Yeah.
For quarantine.
Yeah, just by the to help situations that we're saying, like you do need some intimacy and some sort of physical contact. That they suggested that's something you could do. I ordered my like home testing kit for STIs, because now is like a good opportunity, isn't it, for everybody to discover like what they're, because you need to have like a 3-month waiting period to find out properly whether you have HIV or not. Now is the right time because we can sort of like track it down where it is. I was on the PrEP trial before, so you have to be HIV negative to be able to go on the trial at the time, and I've been taking it, so I guess fingers crossed. But if anyone's out there, and even just, and I think it helps identify where it is more so than just saying that if you believe that you have it, it's also saying that you don't have it. Kind of like checking in. The app to check in, the COVID-19 app. I don't know if you've ever used that to check in and say how you're feeling and doing. But this is like something works in a similar way. So if anyone's out there, now's the time to get tested, because from a lot of us, we wouldn't have had any sexual contact for 3 months, so it will be the most conclusive outcome.
And also a very good time to give blood, because you've not had sex for 3 months as a gay man.
Yeah.
Maybe it will. That'll be good.
So many pros.
Yeah.
To COVID-19, it's almost like it's a blessing.
You need to take it as that way. I think after Mickey last week and how positive he is as a person, I've been really thinking about that, because I was really fearful of being made redundant from work, and I think it's a very real possibility that may happen. But you can take it as a positive as well, and open up opportunities and really think about focusing on the things that are important to you. So, that positive mindset. And I always say to Ed, and it might be the same for you because that people contact. So I sort of end the day with saying, at least I'm one day closer to seeing you, as opposed to like, another day I haven't spent time with you.
Oh,
like I try and keep that little mindset kind of thing.
What do you keep saying to your hundreds of boyfriends out in Hertfordshire? Or
Did you just say Hertfordshire? Did you just call it Hertfordshire?
I did. I know.
Nowhere near.
I don't know. I'm not from England though, so my defense is I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. What do we say? Well, yeah.
That orgy is going to be wild once this is over.
It's gonna go off. Yeah, it's gonna go off. I can't wait. There's gonna be a lot of hugging. There's gonna be so much hugging. Like, that's that man hugging. That's the straight boy man hugging.
Do you know, I cannot stand someone patting on the back. I think it's something that like disproportionately angers me about like straight guys and their hugs. It really, really gets me. This like weird like tap. I just cannot.
What if it's on the bum? What if it's on the bum?
I hate so.
Like...
you haven't seen it yet, but you will soon, Ben. I've got quite a big rump, right? And many people.
You will soon.
Slide into the DMs later.
In it, right? I said, look, apparently anyone can go in there. You've got their numbers. One of many. People always touch my butt, right? They always think it's a place to touch. So I'm a bit like sensitive towards people just like freely touching my bum, and it happens a lot. Like it happened a lot at like work, which is really bad. So like a Christmas party, and I was dressed in drag, and people were just like touching my bum so much, and it really, really frustrated me, because I feel like it's not okay all the time. You are okay. Everyone can hear now. You've been given permission, but you know what? We get affected too.
Yeah. No, it's
You want a hug to be a good squeeze, like a big.
Yeah. Jim, I went into CrossFit one morning and I had a bit of a bad back, and Jim, Charlie, was like, okay, so just hold your arms across chest like you're giving yourself a hug, really tight. And then he came up behind me, put his arms around me like that, and then leant back to try and extend it, and just hold me like this, but hold me like this.
Has he got big arms?
And then,
Jeez.
and then you had to lie down face forward for a while for about 5 minutes till everything else
it
calmed
was
down.
lovely.
I was like,
And he's like, does that feel better? I was like, oh no, but my back's the same, but
Yeah.
it was a nice hug.
You actually hurt me, but no, thank you.
try it again. Do it again.
That's the only thing I'm missing from
Harder
like,
this time.
CrossFit is like the men are ridiculously fit, and I'm like, oof. That's a reason to join a cult, if any.
But I mean, that's why I did it. I mean, it's just, So self improvement and the view as well.
I did it only for the self improvement.
God, you're such a lie. You're such a fake. Such a fake. The man. I mean, I guess you listen to the podcast. The man who goes on about CrossFit and how it's just for the sport is such a lie. If you know anything about Ashley, I was thinking about your dog when your dog was crawling over your back just before we started. That's Ashley at CrossFit.
Yeah. I saw you at the CrossFit.
It's like you can also just look at my face and say those words. You do not need to be on my back.
when you're at the CrossFit Games and you all those little sneaky little snaps you keep taking of guys taking their shirts off.
Matt Fraser.
He's so good. Yeah, isn't it?
Matt Fraser is just 100% perfect. They all. I mean, the thing is, it's such a good sport, and if the consequences of doing it is getting a body like that, then I think it should be encouraged to anyone.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's well expensive.
Well, it's like my gym membership is less than £60 a month, and that's all in for all the classes.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good. I feel like it might be different in the country than in London.
But they're like the guy. I mean, like Ash, you've seen the guys who run our gym. They're not just just like a couple of guys who think, oh, we can do this. We'll set something up. It's fully they're pros. They compete pretty high level, and they've got all the gear. It's a big industrial unit. They've got all the kit, big rig for doing pull-ups and stuff. All the loads of bars. It's a really good setup. But I guess it's just because like things like rent for those industrial units really cheap out here, so I'm going to worry about that sort of thing.
It is crazy when you get to London and you have somebody set up a gym under an arch and charging somebody every £200 to go there. It's like you don't have any room to do anything. It's insane. Yeah, and also it comes down to mentality. I think people, and the same with Mickey here. Mickey's out here he's different price scales for different things, but again, it's a big industrial unit. It's very, very big. Lots of space, lots of areas to run around in. But it's also to do with the mentality. I think a lot of people, and again, I'm just going off my own thoughts. In the country, people are a lot friendlier because, like you say, rent's cheaper. They can have different approaches. In the city, because you have to charge £200 or £200 plus for a good CrossFit gym. But then you have to sort of drive the business angle. I mean, the one CrossFit gym I joined in London when I was there was so business focused that they were just the people who had been there for, I think, for example, somebody had been going there for like 3 or 4 years, had approached the owner to say, hey, look, can I pay less because I have to travel for work? And he goes, no, you have to still pay the full amount. And it's just like, well, you're just going to lose a customer that way. And I think it is like your guys and like I assume your gym's very like Mickey's gym, in the sense of the way they approach the training. And Mickey wouldn't care now if I wanted to go out and train every day and then stay extra. He wouldn't charge me more for that.
Yeah.
But gyms in London are like, if you want to stay and do open gym, it's going to cost you £10 more a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, and it works both ways because the guys that own ours are such decent guys. It's meant that now we can't go. I've not stopped paying my membership. I'm still able to make money. I'm still paying, and because I want to support them, because I want it to still be there when we come out. They're not like a big Virgin Active or anything like that. It's a couple of brothers who've set up and they've like built it from the ground up. They used to just do like training, exercise class out the back of their vans. They built this business they built from the ground up. They've been going really well, and the thought of it not being there when they when we come out the other side, it's sad thought.
How is it?
It's
oh, go on.
I was going to say, the guys who own yours are really kind. Not Charlie, the other brother that I've met.
Will.
He actually asked me if I wanted to join his Zoom classes, because I was just saying I was finding it really I was saying like,
and you were like,
I was finding it really well, obviously I said no because I've got them here.
And
I was finding,
would Mickey be really upset if you cheated on him?
Mickey would be so jealous. He would 100% be so jealous. But I was explaining to Will that what I find here is since everybody's doing these home workouts, and it's more just focus on myself, but a lot of people are doing it in the garden, and there's a couple of people who in ours have kids, and in the background and they're crying and going on. I'm like, I find this the most distracting thing, having to listen to your crying kid whilst I'm trying to catch my breath while I don't die. And I've said to Mickey, whenever I do it with him, I've muted it because I can't put up with the drama.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Will said, "Oh, I can join it because there's no crying kids," and I was like, Mickey would go too mad.
Just come and do it. Come and do it tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
Oh,
See, you lost me there at 6 a.m.
Absolutely not.
But what I did say to him is, I will try at some point to come out because I want to come out and see your farm and come and do CrossFit with you out there.
Yeah.
Whenever
Oh my
all
God,
this
we're gonna have a
stuff-
sleepover. I can't wait.
I don't remember you coming that.
That's horrible. I'll probably get shot in the countryside, innit? This fabulous gay black man just like sashaying down the road. 100%. I'm not making it out alive.
I think it's just like everyone would just be like, oh, don't see that every day. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because there's some diversity wise out here. It's it's so limited. It's just like a bunch of just because there isn't a lot of people moving in or out of the county. It's just like the same people who've been here for 350 years, like my family.
Are you the only gay couple?
Oh God, no! It's full of gays.
What?
Gays. Yeah. We've got loads of gay friends. So there's
No way.
yeah.
But gay couple friends, I guess. Nobody's single. I guess everybody couples up
Um,
and moves out.
Actually, no. You're right. There are not that many single gays out here. But yeah, there are loads, and really nice, really good friends. Not just like, sometimes when you were younger and you just had gay friends, you just hung out with them just because they were gay, and because you didn't know any other gay people, and you didn't have anything in common with them at all. And just like, oh, but you're the only other gay person I know, so I'll hang out with you.
That pretty much developed into our podcast.
Stop it.
You're literally describing our friendship. No, go on, sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, so just and people who do just some really interesting people. So got a really good friend who's he's a garden designer. His husband is a photographer, and then another one who's he's like up in Shropshire, one of my best mates. He's an interior designer and artist, and he has the most wild parties, and it's just like full on rave in his garden, all nighter, and then some friends in this really cool little shop, and then some other ones that make gin. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Is there like a gay farming community?
Well, funny you should say that. I'm involved in a group called Agrespect, and a friend of mine, Matt, he's a farmer over in Lincolnshire, set it up, and we basically there's all this talk about farmers, there's a high level of depression and suicide, and if you're a gay farmer, you're going to be doubly depressed and doubly suicidal.
Just farmers in general, you're saying there's a high level of...
Yeah. Farming is one of the highest levels of suicide out of any profession. Just because of it's like this isolation, toxic masculinity of sort of like repressing feelings, you're not talking about things. Also, you get serious swings of like whether it's like the weather or anything, prices, money problems. So, and then there's the whole added gay aspect of it. Although there's a lot of talk about this, we need to show the other side, and you can be out and be a farmer. So Matt set up this website, and we also wrote our own little stories, and that they went up on the website, and we sort of started an Instagram thing and started sharing that around. We got people contacting us, telling us about their stories, So we shared those as well, and the more stories we shared, then we started having people who said, it's been a real big help to me reading these stories, and I came out to my parents at the weekend, or I came out to my friends, and it's like gets you a bit gooey inside, and just like, that's nice. And yeah, and it's been fantastic seeing that, and it's incredible the sort of the range of people we've got. We thought, oh, it's going to just end up being because on Facebook, and I've come off Facebook now, but there's this gay farmer group on Facebook, which just is just it's hideous. It's just like people. I mean, you can probably imagine it's just like group of gay men who go on there and then like occasionally like one will like post a picture of himself shirtless in a field just wearing dirty wellies or something. Like,
Are you talking about this group or your Instagram?
That no, that's what are you talking about? So rude. So rude. But yeah, and then we started getting we've got lesbians. We had this trans woman who is a lecturer at an agriculture university. Bisexual, asexual. It's just been like full range of people covering whether they're farmers or agricultural scientists, like I said, lecturers at agricultural universities, agricultural lawyers, agricultural consultants, just the full range of people, and you don't even realise that many people are out there. And we've got people right from down in Cornwall all the way up to the Highlands in Scotland. It's been fantastic. And so then last year we had a place in the parade at Brighton Pride. Massey Ferguson, you may or may not know, are a big tractor manufacturer. They sponsored it, and they sent us a big Massey Ferguson tractor that was wrapped in rainbow vinyl, and they called it Sassy Ferguson. And yeah, just had 50 of us just in the parade, marched behind this tractor, and it was one of the most.
You posted about that today.
Pardon?
You posted about it today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I seen the tractor today on your story.
Because today is International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia, which leads in nicely to next week being Mental Health Awareness Week. Yeah, there you go. A couple of dates for your diary.
Yeah. I mean, you listen to the podcast, but I guess we talk about mental health quite often, especially I talk about my own because it's quite important to me and like my journey sort of thing. So I guess, do you think about sort of your mental health or well-being, and does that take effect into your sort of lifestyle?
Yeah, I'd say that's all joking aside, that's probably 90% of why I do CrossFit or just any exercise, because any time in the past where I've been at a particularly low point, it's usually if I've got too much work going on or something and I've not been able to exercise. And my dad always said to me when I was younger, and he was one of those dads that he was a rugby dad, and he's like, you're going to go and play rugby. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to play rugby. He's like, you're going to go and play rugby. I was like, I'm crap at rugby, I can't catch. So then I was like, right, okay, don't play rugby, play something else, and until I found rowing, and then suddenly I found something I was good at, and it was just I just felt so much better about myself, and this whole idea of like healthy body, healthy mind, and it's just helped me out so much over in the past, and I'm in such a great place now that just I'm pretty unfazed by things at the moment. So that's quite a nice place to be, really.
Yeah, definitely.
To me, you come across. I need to know. You come across super masculine. A lot of things you do. I need to know something that you do that's like mad femme. Like, are you watching Drag Race? One.
Yes.
Do you like glitter? Are you watching Drag Race?
Love Drag Race. Have you seen Celebrity Drag Race?
Oh my days! The third episode of Celebrity Drag Race and the roast was one of the funniest things I've ever seen ever.
Oh, so good. And Ted off Schitt's Creek.
Oh my god!
Such a dreamboat.
Nah, it's not really for me. Do you know what it is? He's got these like jawbones here that stick out too far, and
Yeah,
Hamster.
yeah, it's a bit. Yeah.
What's Celebrity Drag Race? I've not watched this or heard of it. Or
It was, if I'm honest, the first two episodes I thought I was like, oh, it's a bit rubbish, and then watched the third one. I was like, actually, no, this is really good. It's really good.
Fuck me, I
Is it
was
on Netflix?
laughing. Yeah, yeah. They've done 4 episodes and they've got celebrities and they drag them up and they've got like different types of people. And the third one, they do a roast. And I love roasts anyway. Like I watch them on YouTube of people. But it is one of the funniest things. One of the funniest episodes of Drag Race ever. Like it is
Yeah.
so good, and the lip sync was excellent. They looked incredible. I think Matt should have won
is it
it.
RuPaul or
Pardon?
is it RuPaul or who is it? Or
Yeah, it's RuPaul's Drag Race. It's called Secret Celebrity Drag Race.
oh well.
And for British people, they're not really celebrities because I didn't know who most of them were in the 3 episodes. But it's yeah, it was really good. Better than the
must have
Christmas special.
That Christmas specials. That was just an advert. That was one
Dreadful.
advert. It was fucking awful. That's one thing about RuPaul is he has no shame when it comes to advertising things. Like even the last episode about the Las Vegas Live, it's just an advert for Las Vegas, like their live show.
And the what did you think of AJ and the Queen?
I couldn't watch it.
Did you watch that?
I tried. I got
I
to
watched one
2
episode.
episodes.
I watched
in.
one episode.
It
Yeah.
is horrible. It's like one really bad acting challenge, repeated over and over again. Oh, so bad. It was awful.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
I'll tell you something that's really cute. Is a friend of ours, Kate, she's got 3 boys, and one of them, the oldest boy, is like super into basketball, and he's like the cool kid at school. And then the youngest kid is just like, yeah, dinosaurs, robots, Lego, stuff like that. And the middle kid is just he just likes animals and likes baking and stuff like that. And so he wanted to have his hair dyed, so she dyed his hair blue. And then she lets him watch Drag Race, and he wanted to like fully drag up, and so she did his makeup and everything, and she sent us a picture of it, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. He looked amazing, and so he's just thinking of drag
Oh,
names.
that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's like God. It's like so. Can you imagine if having something like that when we were kids?
Oh my god,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The script that I want to write about is about coming out, and it's a bit about my experience and stuff, and then other people's as well. So I want to ask people about, both good and bad and stuff like that. But like, you think about, I don't know if it's the same for you, but like, mine wasn't very good, and I didn't have any sort of like positive reinforcement growing up about like same-sex relationships, and my mum was quite brutal about what she'd see on TV, and she'd be quite vocal about like her distaste at the time. She's very different now. She's very, very different. But yeah, it's crazy to think that there are parents out there and people out there that are saying, you can absolutely be who you want to be, and dress up for dresses, and if you want to. It's crazy to think that people are going to aspire to be drag queens from like the age of 5.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like they're going to watch it and be like, oh, I want to grow up and I want to be a drag queen. I think that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I find it really weird, this concept that like when we were growing up, a man could dress up as a woman for comedy. A straight man could dress up as a woman for comedy, and that would be hilarious. But if a gay man dresses up as a woman, it's seen as some like massive threat to society. It's just and how old are you, Matt?
I'm actually funny story. Now you might not know this, but I'm actually 32. However, I've just been cast in an amateur dramatics play where they put the age as 18 because, as you can tell, okay. Pipe down. The next story we're going to have is I'm going to ask you about what were gay bars like in the 1940s. Why don't you tell us that? But no, I'm 32.
Okay. Because
how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 38, and
stop it.
I'm 38. Yeah. No, I need to shave. I should have shaved. I look really old. But yeah, when we were growing up, the whole Section 28 thing and living in really conservative background, it was, you have that constant background noise of being gay is wrong. You have that constant bombarding with the AIDS advert on TV, not really knowing what AIDS is and going like being terrified, whatever it was, being terrified and sort of like saying, oh, mummy, am I gonna die as well? No, no, don't worry. There's not, that won't affect you. And yeah, that yeah, coming out was a hideous experience to start with, but it's something that now the things my parents and I said to each other when I came out were pretty horrendous things you think you could never come back from, but now we're super tight, and I work with my dad. We see each other every day. But it's it wasn't easy, but it was so much easier in hindsight than the thought of not coming out and where things might be now. And can you imagine? And I still know people who are struggling with coming out at my age or even older, in like 60 or 70, and that thought, I mean, to have held that inside for an extra like 20, 30 years, it's a horrible thought.
What age were you when you came out?
18.
Okay.
Yeah. So I finished school, went to uni. Well, I was 18 or 19. I went to uni, and I was in first year of uni. Um, it sort of like was the end of a bad argument with my parents when they were visiting me at uni. And in hindsight, probably not the best way to go about it, but it it was still the best decision ever made, easily.
Mm.
And I think the longer, because when you spent 18 years sort of actively, not just the 18 years when you're developing as a human being, you're struggling so hard to not just be someone different but actively hide who you actually are. You spend a long time
Yeah.
after you come out unpicking all that, and it takes a long time to come to terms with it. But yeah, it's a journey, as they say, but it's definitely such a good place now.
I couldn't imagine Hon in like as an adult, like your whole adult life, like people were saying like our age and older, not being able to, because I don't know, I don't think we should all be defined completely by like our sexuality, but I do think it forms a large part, and I guess I'm one of those people that make a point of letting people know, because um, I don't know. I don't want like speculation or anything like that. I think it's easier just to be more of an open book instead of sometimes you can take the approach where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have to do that, which is right. Different people. But when I told my mum, even though like in the moment actively it was going terribly, I could not stop smiling, and she was like, "You think this is funny?" And I was just like, because you think about it and you visualize it so many times, like and almost do it probably as well a few times as well. So the fact that it actually come out of my mouth and stuff, like we're in the middle of this like horrible argument on the tube, and I'm just smiling. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I've done this. You fucking smiling, are you? I was like, oh, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not smiling. I'm not laughing.
Old man in tech.
And she's like, blip. He's like, oh, good story, bye.
I've had enough. Um, yeah, I guess for me it was I remember my granddad, my uncle's brother is gay, and I remember we met at a family reunion when I was really really young. Um, and I remember my granddad saying, "Oh, did you meet what's his name?" I was like, "Yeah." I just remember him saying, "Such a shame he's gay. What a waste." And I was just like, "Okay." I was like 11 or 12 at this point. But then when I came out to my mum, me and my mum, I came out on phone. I didn't come out face to face. I lived in Leeds at the time at uni. And I was 21, and I came out to her, and we didn't speak for months, and it caused so much drama. But I've always been very. Once I've made my mind up for something, I'm very direct, and I don't like beat around the bush. So I was just like, Mum was like, "Oh, just come home and don't be gay." And I was like, "That's not gonna happen. I'll just not come home." She goes, "You can't not come home." And I'm like, "Well, just watch. I'm not gonna come home and have you try and make me be something I'm not." It caused more drama. Um, and then she phoned up and apologized. And then my mum, I think it was what was very clear to me is, and my friend explained to me at the time, is I had so many years to come to terms with who I was, and I didn't really know who I was until I managed to get away and not growing up in a small town in Ireland, you don't really experience anything than other. Well, you don't think you're experiencing anything else than other just straight white meals. I went to Leeds, which was then full of so much diversity. It really opened my eyes on all different levels. Um,
Didn't open
and
up just your eyes,
yeah,
babe.
that's true.
Opened up a lot more.
My heart opened up a lot more as well.
No, your anus. Talking about your bum hole. No one else got that.
You're so crass. It's disgusting.
I get it from my mum.
Is your mum listening to this, Ash?
I can let you know, Matt. I did a test and I got 52% top. All right.
That test is a lie.
Oh.
Just because I like the theatre and want to be looked after, and they're like, oh, I mean, I aspire to be like 55% or 45%, but people that like to top can also like really nice meals, and I might take a while to get ready, but it's for everyone's benefit that I take a long time to get ready. Okay.
We did a test that was how much of a top versus how much of a bottom you are, and I got 52 to 58%. 52% top. What did you get, Matt? You didn't tell me your results.
I got 55% bottom and 45% top.
Anyway.
But yeah, that test is a shambles. Well, I bet you it's also from the mirror as well.
Was it from the mirror?
Nah, I don't know where it's from. Stupid.
Like BuzzFeed or something.
Yeah.
Something more.
I was going to say some BuzzFeed Facebook
Yeah.
quiz.
Yeah, those authentic quizzes.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll send it on to you, Ben, so you can have a go and see what you are. In case you don't know.
I'd like
In case you don't know already.
I'd like just in case we're still figuring that out.
To be honest, Ben is different. With each boyfriend, he's very different. The roles are very different, isn't it?
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Different dynamics.
It's
Different
good. It's
dynamics.
good. Yeah, I cannot wait to come to Herefordshire.
Most of it's just spooning. Yeah.
What if we were to come out? What would you have us do in the farm?
Are we working?
What would you have Matt do versus what would you have me do? Because
I get one of you picking and one of you packing.
I pack.
Yeah. Okay. It's not a euphemism, but I just probably put you, Ash, in somewhere in a field on your own to just get on with stuff, and then Matt, so probably have a bit more of a chat with him. He seems a bit more fun.
That is 100% true. Plus, I've got a good singing voice as well, so we can sing along.
Brilliant!
Yeah,
That'd be
like
good.
Sing song.
If you can teach me to sing, because I cannot sing to save my life.
Well, I won't be teaching you to do double unders after that response, so you can.
Well, it sounds like Matt's better at double unders than you are anyway.
No, he's not. Wow, this is so hurtful. This is the worst podcast I've ever recorded.
Can we just do it? Can we post? Basically, can we treat it like one of Ash's Instagram posts and like do like half an hour's work and post it as if we did a full day of farming?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
Just do it.
I'll
do
just
it
not
on
come.
Instagram. Yeah,
I'll just not come. I'll just
Do it
not
for the
come.
gram.
That is perfectly fine. We've got plenty of Charlies to play around with.
I mean, I'm not even a real farmer. I just did it for Instagram.
That is so good. That would be wicked if it were true.
Yeah.
Literally.
Totally,
Let me see your fingernails. I bet you they're like pristine and well shaped, and you got very soft hands.
Actually,
this is why I can never farm.
actually a bit gross. I feel like
Oh.
they're a bit.
You need to get. He needs to get one of those buffers, doesn't he, Matt?
Yeah, I've got like a foot scraper that I use on my hands because I don't like calluses. So I started finally going to the gym, but I do not like those stupid fucking calluses that you get. So I like, and something that will really help to your hands is I get like an oil or a cream and I put it on at night, and then I put my socks over my hands and I sleep with them, and then it helps moisturize and stuff on your hands. So just remember that tip. I told my mum the other week and she loved it.
But I need to have fairly rough hands because like when I'm doing stuff like with machinery, you don't want to have soft hands that like cut easily. I want to be able to have like
Wear gloves.
you know.
All nearest problems. Wear gloves, Ben.
The thing is when you give me a back rub, I don't want you scratching my
Sometimes
hand.
you need to do complicated things with your fingers.
I'm thinking of those bad tan lines you'd have. Your hands would be white
Yeah,
and your arms would be like
I've
bronze.
got my tan lines on my ankles are coming along quite nicely now. Got ankle tan lines and like t-shirt tan lines.
You don't do it in a
That's a
vest.
proper farmer tan.
Well, not all the time. Sometimes I take my shirt off, but not when there are other people around because I'm shy.
As if.
No.
It's such a lie.
I am not like around people I work with.
You should definitely have like an
Good.
all-gay workforce, and then we would just be partying. No farming would get done.
Yeah, I know. Definitely not. Definitely not.
The amount of
That would be
drama
the
on
worst
that.
idea
That
ever.
is actually a good idea for a TV
It'd
show.
just be like selfies the whole time.
Yeah, get to work, bitch. Just arguments. Listen, yeah.
That would be one hell of an Emerald Farm episode.
That'd be
All
so good.
gays.
Yeah,
The,
that'd be so
the
good.
drama, the lunch hour bath foam parties. It would just be, glitter in the morning, going out to the tractor.
Yeah. The letter's just covered in that
Sausage.
residual glitter from the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, it's not organic. That is so not organic.
It's literally plastic. Yeah.
It sounds like your farm is screaming out for us to come, by the way. It just sounds like,
Needs more gays.
yeah. Could you imagine? What's your, I can't, I was going to say, what's your village called, but don't tell us that.
Yeah.
What is your,
I got enough winners on Instagram already.
what is your, like,
Also, hey, Ash.
basically what sort of,
On a separate side note, hey.
where, what would be the
So,
pride?
what is your exact postcode?
Tell me your address. What colour is the door? It's blue, right?
Yeah, I can find it on Google Maps right now. Well, no, I was going to say, what would be the pride? So would it be like, my town's Limavady Pride. Like, what would be your pride if we were to come?
Yeah, so Hereford has tried doing prides before, and it's not like there's any opposition to it. It just never gets enough support. There just aren't enough people where we live to get the critical mass to make it a success. So really, like Birmingham's an hour away. That's probably the most the biggest local pride.
100% Hereford Pride 2021 is going to be massive.
Yeah,
Matt's going to come.
you're
Yeah.
gonna make it a
I'm going to
thing.
be the headline act.
Well,
Can
Matt
you,
is.
can you organise that?
Yep.
Can you organise that for me?
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm not
You're so
I'm not
shy.
a complete
Yeah,
finisher.
I can tell.
I'm great at ideas, but I'm not very good at actually following through on those things. So
Oh.
yeah, if you could do that for me, that'd be great. Thanks.
I remember it was in the States. Was what do you call the vice president? Pence.
Oh, I was going to say the vice
Pence.
president.
Yeah.
Somebody had organized. He's from this little backward village or town, and somebody organized a pride in his town because obviously he's anti-gay.
Yeah.
And we just got so much traction from everywhere. So if they can do it, we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just more a case of people are just like, yeah. Like, oh. I mean, there's not like a big, it's not even like a big nightlife for if there used to be so many clubs here. They used to have gay nights at a couple of the bars, but people just don't generally go out that much anymore.
Because you're all coupled up. That's it. So once you couple up, there's no need.
Yeah, that's it.
It's gay
That's
dead.
Gin and
Just
tonics.
dinner parties. Yeah.
Let us talk.
Yeah. Board games.
There's
Love
nothing wrong with board games.
Love board games. What's your favourite board game?
So Stevie's sister and brother-in-law every Christmas come and visit, and they are they're like the king and queen of board games. So Nigel actually makes computer games. That's his thing. He develops computer games.
Awesome.
And they also do that like live action role playing stuff.
Oh.
Where they go and stand in a field and like dress up in like armor and stuff and like go and hack each other to death with swords.
Jeez.
I've not got many of the board games here, but they bought like Pandemic, topical,
Pandemic is so good.
topical.
We play it a lot
Such
here.
a good
So
game.
hard though,
Yeah.
so hard. And then they've it's one called Azul or something, which is like got like tiles,
Yeah.
like
I've never played it.
Portuguese
but I've seen
tiles, and you collect really random, some really random things. So like, how on earth did someone come up with the idea for this? But yeah, quite fun, quite good fun.
We'll play Secret Hitler with you.
Okay.
It's really good.
I mean, I've got this. This is up on the shelf. That's our board game shelf.
That Scrabble
Drafts.
looked like your
Scrabble.
great grandfather's one.
Yeah, probably is. Drafts. Some card games there. What's this? Dungeon Mayhem. Oh, bring yourself up. Yeah, so bit of a selection. But yeah, this time of year I don't want to play board games. I want to be outside doing stuff.
Absolutely. We should probably wrap this up. It's been like 2 hours actually.
Yeah, it is. It's been longer than we thought. Thank you for your time,
Sometimes.
Ben.
No worries. It's been great chatting.
What's your plans for the evening?
Another like Zoom, FaceTime, something chat. I've got to go and help Stevie try and pull some ivy off the garage.
God, it's
and
happening out in
probably
Hereford,
have a-
isn't it?
Probably have a gin. Yeah, that's about it. You guys?
I'm going to go to Tesco's in a little bit, and then I'm going to go for a walk down by the seawall, and then maybe watch a film later. I bought Judy film with Renee Zellweger. I bought that last night, so I might watch that.
Watch what? Judy.
Judy Garland story. Renee Zellweger plays Judy Garland. She won the Oscar for it. So, what about you, Matt?
Nothing. I'm feeling a bit antisocial actually, so I'm going to stay in my room and be by myself all evening. Which is, I feel like, when you've been in the same place for such a long time, it was nice seeing like my family and my friends and stuff. But I think I've reached like my wit's end of like being in this space with like the same people a lot. I will say that. So I need to like hibernate. I think a little bit.
Have some you time.
Yeah, for sure. And watch this show called Dead to Me, which is excellent.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they've got the second
Yeah.
season. Have you seen the first one?
I've only about halfway through the first season.
It's
so
excellent.
I need to
It's excellent.
play a bit of catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, really well done.
But nothing crazy. Nothing crazy this evening.
Yeah, it's like no. It's like, is anyone doing anything crazy? Let's be honest.
I think so. But my family are doing all sorts of crazy shit, like having the parties and people around or whatever. So I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, but like, is anybody doing anything crazy that they're allowed to do?
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No. Yeah, pretty tame. Ben, thank you very much for coming on and sharing with us your story and your opinions and
Cheers, thank you.
tips of how to survive a weekend in Hereford. And for the invite out to the farm.
Yeah, anytime. Not yet though.
Oh,
Not yet.
So not any time.
Just-
Restricted time.
Well, just like, yeah, when you're allowed to.
Okay. Well, we look forward to it. Thank you, Matt, for another good episode.
You're very welcome, Ashley.
And thanks to
Yeah,
all
and
our...
thanks, guys.
Oh, you're very welcome. We'll have you on again for sure. We'll record face-to-face next time, and we'll get lots of gin involved. It'll be a lot more
I
fun.
mean, I might have completely screwed up this voice recording, so you might have to do it again anyway. So.
You
Don't
just
say
want to
that.
see my face again.
By the way, yeah.
Oh, so good. We can make it a weekly
Cool.
thing, it's fine.
Sure. Yeah, why not? It's more
Get
fun
some
than
of the
chatting to my in-laws every week.
Get some of the charities involved.
Yeah.
I might just wake up in the
I don't-
6
why
o'clock
not?
and watch you lot work out, because I feel like that would be a good use of an hour.
Yeah.
Zoom orgy.
Yeah. Come and join. Come tomorrow morning.
Not-
See you at
I'm
6
not
a.m.
doing the exercises, I'm just watch you all sweat.
Okay.
Alright. Bye bye,
Cool.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Cool. See you.
Bye-bye.